Business owners in downtown Chicago are boarding up the windows, bracing for potential trouble. That is because the eyes of the world are on Chicago this weekend for the Global Military and Security Summit. Police are preparing for protest groups to take advantage of the extra attention. Demonstrations around these global events often get violent and destructive. I want to bring in our Ted Rollins in Chicago right now. Ted, do we know if the city is ready?
Well, they say they're ready, Suzanne, and basically the strategy here has been to expect the worst, expect the scenes like Seattle in 1999 or even France in 2009, and hope for the best. And that's what they've done. They've been preparing for 11 months. The FBI, the Secret Service, and the Chicago Police Departments have gone to great lengths to set up a plan. There's perimeters around the McCormick place where the world leaders will be, and they're doing a very good job in planning. But the problem is, of course, you never know what to expect. We're at a rally right now. This is really the first large rally this week that we've seen. It's leading up to Sunday's big march, and this is a group of nurses from around the country. Really, you can see that security's fairly heavy. You've got Chicago police surrounding the perimeter here, a lot of numbers here, but quite frankly, this isn't a real scary bunch of folks. Let's talk to a couple nurses here. These ladies are down from St. Paul, Minnesota. This is Jennifer Michelson. She's an RN. You came down to Chicago from Minnesota. You feel very passionate about this, and specifically referencing your hat, we're talking about the Robin Hood tax. You're proposing that Wall Street be taxed, basically financial transactions be taxed, and that money be used to offset cuts in education and healthcare. Why is it so passionate for you and for all these other thousands of nurses?
I've been a nurse for 30 years. I've seen our patients now coming in sicker and going home sicker. There isn't the safety net out there to protect them. They can't pay for the medications that are prescribed to keep them out of the hospital. They can't go in for the preventive care for their diabetics checks to keep them from getting sick and having to come into the hospital.
And this is a theme that we're hearing from a lot of nurses. Is it pretty universal within your profession that things are going downhill, and is that why you've been able to galvanize so many people?
That's exactly why we're galvanizing nurses and the public. We are the 99%er, and we are not seeing any improvement. The cutbacks in health care are being taken away from our patients. They are in the hospital for outpatient, what used to be 8-day procedures.
You're across the street from City Hall, but you're miles and miles away from the world leaders. Originally, you were hoping the G8 was going to be here in Chicago today. Is that frustrating that you may or may not be having your voices heard with the world leaders in town?
We're not frustrated. We're very excited the fact that we are here on a national stage. We are to be listened to, and nurses have the answer.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Suzanne, this is just one of 10 planned protests scheduled through the weekend. Of course, the real problem is the things that aren't planned, and that's what Chicago police, the FBI, and the Secret Service are most worried about, but so far so good here.
Yeah, good. That's good, Ted. We certainly hope that it remains peaceful. I was at that France 2009 protest where it was really quite violent, so we hope that that doesn't happen this weekend. Thanks, Ted. Well, you better watch the sky for falling objects. The movie Armageddon may have been fiction, but NASA is now saying there's a lot of asteroids out there, and they are pretty close to Earth.